Hello, I'm Dr. Brian Stolley with MediSpa Maui in the Stolley Center. Today I have the privilege of being with Patsy Colvin. Patsy is our physician's assistant. She's the newest addition to our team, and I'm very excited to have Patsy. Patsy has over 12 years of experience in dermatology and aesthetic medicine, as well as a plethora of other backgrounds in medicine. So, today what I wanted to do is just welcome you to the practice, Patsy.
Thank you.
And then also I wanted Patsy to give her an opportunity to talk about, what she's done in the past, where she's come from, what brought her here to be on Maui. So without further ado, we're going to be talking to Patsy here about that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Well, my very first job in medicine as a physician assistant was with Maui Medical Group in 1983 in Lahaina. I eventually moved to California and practiced aesthetic medicine in Beverly Hills for 8 years, which is like aesthetic boot camp.
I bet it is.
But I was lucky enough to be formally trained through the American Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons, ASAPS. I'm a certified advanced injector, having passed through their training course.
That's great.
Then after that, after 8 years, I came to Kona, practiced in Kona for 5 years, doing aesthetic medicine as well. Gave me a great chance to get back to Hawaii, consolidate my skills, but now I finally come home to Maui. I plan to stay here till I retire.
That's great to hear, and we love having you.
I love being here.
So Patsy, I know that, like we talked about, you have a large background of experience in various forms of medicine. You started off as a hand specialist, is that right?
I'm an occupational therapist with a board certification in hands rehabilitation. So I actually am a founding member of Therapeutic Associates of Maui, and I work there as a hand therapist, yes.
That's great to hear. And then I know that on the Big Island, you were there for 5 years, and you did not only aesthetic medicine, which is what you'll be focusing on here, but you also did a lot of medical and surgical dermatology.
Medical and surgical dermatology. I treated a great deal of skin cancer, and I worked with our Mohs surgeon doing Mohs surgery, which is a specialized form of skin cancer surgery.
And in addition to that, you share one of my passions, and that's we might call it functional medicine or anti-aging medicine. So you also have a background in that as well.
I do. I actually did the fellowship through the American Academy of
That I told you about.
You did. You're the one who made me do it.
Yes.
You told me all about it. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Once I realized that the skin could be rejuvenated, you made me realize that the body could be rejuvenated, and I followed that through to become board certified in that.
That's great. But you experienced, much like I have, that it's hard to do everything in medicine, and that and part of that is that's why I bought Dr. Terry Jackson on board.
I'm so glad she's here.
Yeah, and so because having that education about it is one thing, but having the time to actually put that education to action is another. And so I sort of said, well, I'm going to bring in another expert and let them do that. And so that's why she's here, and you've already mentioned how excited you are having her.
Well, and having the background of being able to recognize what's appropriate to send to her, we'll be able to make excellent referrals to her and have her to handle those patients.
Yeah, and as well, I know that you're not going to focus on the surgical and medical dermatology here, but just like myself, I've spotted many a melanoma while I'm doing a Botox injection or while I'm doing a filler. And I can remember one time I was treating someone, I looked down on her leg and I said, that's a melanoma, and I was able to refer right over to Dr. Martin, and he took care of it. So you'll be you'll be able to identify those things even if you don't necessarily have the time to treat all of those things. But there's a crossover.
Yes, there is. And I will say I've had the exact same experience.
Yeah.
How long have you had that spot on your chest?
Yeah.
What spot?
Yeah.
The melanoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's I'm very happy to have you here because we have this possibility to. Part of the reason that I have this place, the Stolley Center, was I wanted to bring the experts to Maui, and so you're one of those experts. So thank you for being here.
Well, and thank you. I waited a long time for the timing to be right for me to come home and take this job. So thank you for